Welcome everyone to the Cullinan Golf Club, where we're about to play 9 holes of night golf on the Aspendos Course. The first hole is a dogleg right over water, where the safe line for your drive is slightly to the right of the bunker that we'll see straight ahead of us off the tee. We both successfully got over towards the bunker, and then we played up to the green. Mine was a 7-iron that finished up on the green, whereas Janet needed a chip up. Unfortunately, we didn't catch those on the video. When we got onto the green, we found that the floodlights really did disguise the lines and certainly the speed that you required. Obviously, as it was going dark, the greens were picking up a bit of dampness, which just made things a little bit more interesting as we went round, but you'll see the problems we had on the rest of the video. Okay, let's finish this one off and get off to hole 2. Hole 2, 494 yards, the 11th on the Aspendos course. The fairway is straight and tree lined. Keeping your drive straight leaves a nice position for your second shot. I took a wood and was by the ditch in 2 and on the green with my third from the layup. Janet mishit her wood left and then needed an iron to get up close to the green. She followed this with a chip up onto the green and left us both needing putts. This was a rarity for me. I actually made a 2-putt finish, leaving a long putt close to the pin for just a bit of a tap in. Janet also steps up and finishes this one off with 2 putts. The third hole, 369 yards, the 12th, tree lined again, and my drive was straight. Janet's drive headed off piste, however the tree gods threw it back out to the middle of the fairway. Janet clipped a great second shot that headed towards the green. My second sees me onto the green. Janet's third, she pops it up in the air and it runs through to the back of the green. Her chip up sees it run past the flag and will need a hefty putt back. I've got a lengthy putt which, true to form, doesn't go in the hole and runs past it, leaving me with a 6-footer back towards the pin, which again doesn't go in and needs a tap in. Janet's 12-foot putt looks like it's running up nicely, but then veers off and stops, leaving her a short putt to finish off the hole. The fourth hole, 158 yard 13th, a deceptive and well protected hole with strategically placed bunkers that will catch anything falling short of the green unless you land on one of the gaps separating the bunkers for a run up close to the green. I finished in the sand and was able to lash one out onto the putting surface. Janet cleared the bunkers onto the fringe and was left with a chip onto the green. My first putt is too enthusiastic and sailed past the pin. Janet's is a steadier putt and just leaves a 2-footer to finish the hole. My Uber arrives and allows me to tap it up close, but it didn't drop and then needed a second tap to finish it off. Hole 5, the 310 yard 14th, that doglegs onto the green, surrounded by water on 3 sides. I get a decent drive away that doesn't fly. My second shot, again a bit disappointing, followed by a third shot that turns into be a layup, leaving me ready to attack the green. Janet calmly steps up and just as a gentle little pitch onto the putting surface. I'd finally arrived in a position to throw a shot up onto the green, and at last it landed where it should have been a shot earlier. Janet left herself with a long putt up, which didn't get all the way there because of the moisture that the greens were now holding and slowing the balls down. She left herself with a 2.5-footer, which decided it wasn't going in and just needed a little tap to finish it off. I'd also left myself with a long putt which veered off to the left and stopped short. I stepped up to it to put it in, but again it was another one of these that wouldn't drop and needed a tap in to finish it off. The sixth hole, a 352 yard 15th, stroke index 1, another wide fairway with a green that's uphill with bunkers on the approach. The line is towards the tree in the centre of the fairway. Our drives took different directions, mine left and Janet's right towards the edge of the fairway. For Janet's second, she has a good line up towards the green. However, she tactically pulls it left for a layup for a third shot. Janet's third has run up the slope with a reasonable lie for a pitch onto the green. My second shot made it most of the way up the slope, but still left me with a a pitch to get up onto the green. Janet found herself in the bunker and managed to get it out. Unfortunately, it stopped on the fringe. My third shot has made it onto the green and left me with a long putt up to the flag. Janet's bunker shot left her on the edge of the green with a long putt similar to mine. For a second putt, Janet's got a 9-footer, but it runs out of steam just as it gets to the hole, and in spite of encouragement it wasn't dropping till pushed in. I was left with a couple of foot, which again ran round the hole, didn't go in and needed a tap back. Seventh, hole 16, 415 yards. Drive downhill and over the cart path that leads to the clubhouse. There's danger on the right as there's a river. My drive's gone slightly left, needing a fairway wood to clear the ditch to get down towards the green. Janet sends an iron over the ditch to another good position, leaving a nice shot onto the green for the next one. My pitch up is pulled a little left, but leaves a putt from the edge of the green. Janet sends in a low little runner onto the green, leaving her with a putt. My putt from the fringe heads off a little left and is short. The next one is a tap up that runs wide, and then there's a tap in to finish off. Janet has a 15-foot putt to hole out. It runs up nicely but stops short, leaving just a tap in for the two putts. Our eighth hole, the 17th, 128 yards, a slightly raised green with the preferred line to the left-hand side of it, allowing balls to run down towards the centre of the green. Going right could see your ball run off the green. Janet's shot goes a little right of centre, but snags on the edge in the rough. I pulled mine left about 3 yards off the green. It's going to need a chip up that finishes about 5 feet away. Janet's was sitting nicely and is puttable towards the pin. Then 2 putts to hole out. My easy 5-footer decides it doesn't want to go in and takes a trip around the hole and comes back to me. Sheer disbelief follows and then a tap in to finish it off. Our ninth hole, the 18th, 466 yards, a fairway that starts wide and gives the impression of narrowing as the trees on the left close in and the bunkers on the right can come into play for the longer hitters should their drives leak off to the right. If you're feeling confident, a good drive can see you close enough to attack the green. The safe option is a layup before the ditch that crosses the fairway and continues to the right of the green. So we both got good drives away beyond the right side fairway bunkers. Janet hits to a safe layup before the ditch, while at 138 yards to the pin, I took my 8-iron. Unfortunately, this shot, although looking good, decided to fall short onto the far bank of the ditch. Janet fired her layup just beyond the green, while my pitch was bunkered to the left with a wedge shot going 25 yards beyond the pin, leaving a 2-foot to putt to hole out. Janet's chip up stopped 3 foot past the pin and needed 1 putt to complete the round.